Hey everyone, have I here bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, it seems like we're going to be getting a superhero themed Ultimate Red Zone. Let's go ahead and discuss. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So yes, the hype is continuously building and building for the celebration here. And the superhero with Gohan Beast with Orange Piccolo is hype enough, but it seems like they're going to add a lot of different theme type of events for this campaign, and of course that makes a lot of sense. And I seriously ended up tweeting out this little picture of the JP version of the logo for Ultimate Red Zone. And of course, if you don't know who I seriously is, definitely go follow him on Twitter. I'll post his link in the description below. But the French data miners, these individuals generally tweet out or provide information on upcoming units, but already know who's coming. They ended up tweeting out, what the event might look like, and it seems like it's going to be a superhero themed Ultimate Red Zone, and that is actually sounds very, very fun. But the question here is, usually in Ultimate Red Zones, they're villains, right? There's stages where you're fighting villains and extreme type units, but we've never experienced a superclass. And when you look at, what the movie is all about, there's really only one major villain, and that's Cell Max, and we have an event separately just for Cell Max. And we also know that Cell Max, crazy as it is, he has another stage upcoming that's going to be more difficult than the current Cell Max stage, which is hard enough. So it's going to be very interesting to see what this Ultimate Red Zone is actually going to be, because it might actually be the first super class, or you're going to be fighting heroes. You're going to be fighting super class enemies instead of extreme class villains. And I think that is a good thing, because you look at, for example, like fighting legend events, like Legendary Goku, Legendary Vegeta events, that's always been super classes on there, but they never done like a legendary Cell or a legendary Boo like Frieza. Come on, those are for sure legendary fighting events that would be very, very fun, but for some reason they never did that. So making a super class makes a lot of sense. The question is, who's going to be the enemies that you're end up actually fighting. So of course I would say Gamma 1, Gamma 2 for sure is going to be on a red zone stage, whether it's a quote unquote villain, because they're not villain, they're super class units, but it's kind of portrayed in the beginning of the movie that they're kind of working with the bad guys, but they don't know that, right? So they think they're superheroes, and I'm saying for sure this is going to be a stage one way or another. Now, if they're going to follow this this theme here, this would then probably end up being more of a super class Ultimate Red Zone than a villain or extreme class, because then of course you have like individuals like Pan, of course, fighting Gohan and Piccolo. That's going to be wild, right? Having them as enemies. Imagine fighting Orange Piccolo, right? Or getting a essay from Gohan, right? So from Beast Gohan, and that would just be very interesting if they ended up doing that, because the difficulty, I would say, would be very high, and you're actually going to be using a lot more extreme class units and teams to fight these events to have a little bit of additional advantage. And of course you're still going to be using the top tier superclass units as well. So this seems very, very interesting, and again very fun for a different type of red zone, since it's always been villains. Now, another way of looking at this as well is that, well, if they go kind of more still toward the villain side, it makes a lot of sense for them to go maybe Red Ribbon Army. Now, Red Ribbon Army, I would love to have Carmine as a first stage or something like that. You got Carmine versus Legic, who's the harder stage for Ultimate Red Zones. But you can do General Blue, you can do Tao, and then you can do like the Gamma 1, Gamma. That's like a big jump, by the way. So you go from Tau to Gamma 1, Gamma 2, but you can also add the androids in there. You can Dr. Gero, stuff like that. A lot of different options you can run that it could be Red Ribbon Army. This would actually make a lot more sense overall, the span of what they're doing for Ultimate Red Zone. And you can see there would be a lot more stages you can run. And again, it would be leaning in toward the more the villains type, and then ending up with Gamma 1, Gamma 2 as being still superclass units, but quote unquote they're, in their mindset they're working for Red Ribbon Army. So I can see this working out, right? Again, they can add the 17, 18, Jiro, all these other units that they can actually run as stages. So I'm kind of actually leaning more toward this. This would be great if they ended up doing like Ultimate Gohan into Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo and things of that nature. This would be amazing. I won't like be sad if they did something like this. It just makes more sense if they did Red Ribbon Army, but making a theme for superhero for the movie collaboration, again, both make a lot of sense. So let me know in the comment section below, what would you prefer, right? Would you prefer the full super class where you're fighting Orange Piccolo, when you're fighting Pan and Beast Gohan, stuff like that? I think most people would enjoy that. Or would you actually rather see a Red Ribbon Army type of Ultimate Red Zone? Again, it would be following the theme of other Ultimate Red Zones. So again, comment in the comment section below. Do you want the super class? Do you want Red Ribbon Army? What do you think this Ultimate Red Zone is going to be? But hey, more hype to this crazy, crazy upcoming celebration. Look forward to covering all this with you. And hey, thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.